37 besides him is Dan Sylvester in the Honda Civic. Row 6 on the inside is number 89 Scott Parkin in the TDI Golf. So the red lights are already on and they go out now. Away we go then, and it is a pretty even start from the two on the front row, Adam Bessel and Josh Lawton in the Honda, but it's Graham Crowhurst in the BMW that goes around the outside, and another BMW is off into the grab. That's Paul Browse off the first corner in the Stowmarket Glass liveried car, and it's going to be the Honda of Josh Lawton that has the lead through the Craner curves. He's got ahead then of Adam Bessel and the Liston Ginetta. Graham Crowhurst is in third, and then it's the Audi in fourth position. Great variety of cars, George, you were saying, in this TDI Roadsports Series.
That's right, and it's Josh Lawton that leads then in the supercharged 1994 EG Honda Civic. So great stuff there from Josh Lawton, who is really quick in this car, and he's trying to pull away early on then from Adam Bessel in the Ginetta. Lighter car, perhaps takes a little bit longer to get his tyres up to temperature. Then Graham Crowhurst and Ryan Parkin, and then Giles Kirk up there in 5th spot in his Seat. Eddie Johnny Weston Taylor, the XF4 champion, in the Lotus, and Crowhurst to the outside of Bessel. The BMW have more power, but it's heavier, so it'll have to brake earlier, but that doesn't stop Crowhurst from going around the outside and grabs second spot then from Adam Bessel, who drops to third in the right front end in Ginetta G20, and he's now under pressure from the winner of the last round, Ryan Parkin, who can't quite gain that position, I don't think.
So good racing in the very early stage of this race. The battles all the way down the field. There are all 40 cars on the grid in this TDI Roadsports Series. We're back to the Corsa of James Birch going for that racing car. And then you've got the Ginetta, the Lotus doing battle. That's the 8 car that was almost collected by one of the much heavier tin tops, I think. I think they may have gotten through that safely, hopefully. But that's the 53 car. We've mentioned that already. Johnny Weston Taylor Chevrolet car in the Multiple Sports Special Channel. Andy Hiley as well. That's one that can go well. And he's got the number 92 Anthony Van Seat Leon car behind him. And then Daniel Sylvester, who was successful last weekend in hot hatch head angle.
And he's the Class B leader and ahead of Scott Parkin impressively. Little look back at the 777, which is the Robert Andrade Seat, the ex-Time Attack racer. But about a second is on because Ryan Parkin's got past Adam Bessel, who's been losing positions in the opening lap or two of this race. And now that Parkin is third, he's going after Graham Crowhurst. But a long way out front is Josh Lawton. What a great effort from Josh, one of the oldest cars on the grid as well. So Crowhurst there in second, third is Parkin, fourth is Bessel. I wonder if we had an issue of the final hairpin.
Well, I wonder if that was Matthew Tidmarsh, because it looked as if it was about to be collected. Did he come through? I don't think he did. So we're not the top 20 odd positions at the end. All collected.
All 42 though did continue, so I wonder if those are debris.
As a result of that. So here's Crowhurst in second position in that Art Car Tribute livery, but he and his other half put on the car. Why don't we put that on in that garage? He's in second. It's Ryan Parkin third. Adam Bessel is in fourth. Charles Kirk is in fifth place. And Weston Taylor Lowson is in sixth position. There further back, you can see the 777. The Landgrave as well. Wolverhampton is just in front of us. There is the damage on the Tidmarsh car. Ginetta G40 of the shares with Chris Webster. So possibly that did come together. Is that a problem there for Josh Johnson as well in the
Bigger problem for the Audi TT. Johnson's got a bit of smoke. The TT's hardly moving. That's the 72 car, which for today is Leon Pegg and Will Beach's car. There it is, very slow down the corner goes. The Browns, the BMW was in the gravel at the start. That has recovered to something like 23rd position after the second lap, just behind James Alford in his Honda Civic Type R, so that makes its way up the hill. But here's about a second, that continues on between Graham Crowhurst and Ryan Parkin. Meanwhile, the first fine lap of the race, Josh Lawton was a 1 minute 40 which was 7 seconds quicker than these cars were going here when we were last here 5 or 6 seasons ago in.
Yeah, that's right. A little while ago, the Roadsports were last here with some really good cars out of these Champions Series. The Championship season racing technology car is a Ford Pickler after that damage to the curve earlier on. So there is our racing. Josh Norton was 2.2 seconds ahead at the end of lap 2, 3.2 seconds maybe ahead at the end of lap 3. Ahead of that lap, Red Kronos for the BMW M3. He, in turn, has got Ryan Parkin in the Audi TT TDI right behind him. And they're just starting to drop a little bit. I think Callum Bessel in the Genetics started on the front row. I think Gibson will take that car over for the second part. There's quite a sizable gap back then to Giles Kirk, who is still 5th in the second. Class B is still being led by Dan Silvestro from Scott Park. And Class C is being led by Matt Green's Clio. He's in 23rd position.
He does have a 25-second success penalty, so Matt Green's got a lot of work to do. He was beaten last time out by Sam Key. He's not racing this weekend. Parkin challenging for second then on Graham Crowhurst. Crowhurst in this replica livery of the Jeff Koons art BMW Le Mans car from 15 years or so ago. And Ryan Parkin chasing him down. Crowhurst telling me at last the BMW Diesel looking to do something perhaps a bit different, perhaps like Roadsports and WTO, where he gets to racing into different types of cars on a very competitive grid, as this Roadsports category is. A little bit of a taste of possibly moving on next season into something new. The big Justy moments at Redgate Corner there for one of the Genetics.
Yeah, and that is the 154 car that has gone around. That's Matthew Faye's GT5. And he's the one from Barrow Furnace. Back into the race after that spin on Redgate Corner. Is it Redgate Corner?
That last lap, Crowhurst was quicker than Lawson, so he definitely down to 2.6 seconds. Won't vary much when they get into traffic, I should think. It's the Class D battle perhaps a bit further down the border. Ivan Mares, I think he's the leader of their class, but actually some Class C cars around. Ivan Mares also, I think, with a 25-second success penalty because he's won the two most recent races at Snetterton and at Brands Hatch. But they've all been passed by Sarah Hobson, who I saw start from the pit lane, that Toyota. So she has gained more than 10 positions, I would say, from the start of the race, and that's something to look out for in Class C.
There you can see the 21 car of Josh Johnson. He is in 19th position. Just behind some.
And behind them, the Audi that's going slowly, is the Audi TT, driven by Leon Pegg, is back up to speed, which is good to see. And then behind, not far behind, was the Class C leader, we just saw a glimpse of Matt Reed, who has pulled out about 6 seconds over Sam Dennis. So although he's got that success penalty, Matt Reed still could find himself in a good result by the end. Good pace, as he has done every time out really, when we see massively set a new record in that class. So this is a good battle. A little bit further down the order, Mazda MX-5 in this. That's Graham Tilley, the Formula Ford racer from the 70s and 80s. More recently has been racing in GT Cup, but he is out with his son this weekend, who I think might give Nathan his race debut, Robert Tilley. So good to have Graham out in this. Quite different, I should think, to the GT3 Mercedes that he races nowadays.
That's good to have Timmy's out with us this weekend in this Roadsports Series race. 6 minutes or so before the pit window opened. There is the little BMW Z3 of Dave Lasper, the Porsche driver. He's involved in a nice little battle there. Down the border also includes the United Fenwick and also the White House Quality, as well as from the back of the grid after the issue of qualifying this morning.
Something like 28 position.
28, yes, that's up to 20, and there you can see the 1.4 Mini going with the inside of that from there, so George Whitehouse Monster taking another position in the last minute. Keen on giving it up, but we'll try and fight back there on the run to here. Is the final sponsor now, it is 6 or 7 places.
Yeah, recently up into 5th position has got Andrew RAF. There's the Fayers to Netta that we saw. And it's been Aidan Hills running that car rather than so Aidan Hills. Very quick club racer, champion in Mazdas, and Matthew 30's back on his way. That was about the fifth we watched. Andrew Raff has got ahead of Giles Kirk recently in the back of the Seat. This is about a second, which is getting closer to the leader, Josh Norton. The gap which was out over 3 seconds came down to about 2. And now in traffic, I wonder if it'll come down any more to Graham Crowhurst, who continues to battle with Ryan Parkin, the 33-year-old from South Yorkshire, in this diesel-powered 2017 Audi TT. And then just behind them, Adam Bessel now seemingly up in some good speed. They've got to lap that BMW here down the Craner curves. And Crowhurst, much more committed, darts down the inside. Either side go the next two, Parkin and Bessel. And that brings Adam Bessel right onto the turn with Ryan Parkin, who's a bit offline for the old hairpin here.
He is. There's Ivan Mares and they're trying to lap as well. So just this means Bessel's got some momentum up the hill towards McLean's. We'll see in a moment if there has been a change there. There is the leader, Josh Norton. He's had a second and a fifth so far this season. Second place just after to go. So he's now got the lead for the second over Crowhurst, but then the next two quite close together. Bessel couldn't make anything of that run to McLean, so he stays in the fourth lap.
They go to both lap. Graham Tilley and Ivan Mares, two long-time Formula Ford racers in some of the lower classes. We've had a spin there in terms of the red drop BMW.
Yeah, Sam Redrock, the green drivers run around.
And now Adam Bessel has got past Ryan Parkin into the Melbourne Loop. And we're on board with Ryan Parkin then, out of the hairpin, up a gear, and up another. I think that was, and now he's on the outside line, brakes later. See the brake disc glowing there on the Parkin Audis. He brakes so desperately late in that Darkside Developments run car. Now out of the corner he comes under the bridge, up in fourth gear. Pushing him for another gear before he gets to Redgate corner. Bessel though defended very nearly a touch there as there's been more drama around the circuit.
Yeah, that's Mike Nash, isn't it? Number 48 in the BMW 330C. I'm so apparently on forces race early on. Day for him today. I'm afraid he's on the circuit and at Redgate.
There's a yellow flag down this part of the circuit, so particularly in traffic. There's troublesome really for the leaders. They have to abide to those yellow flag regulations. Hopefully Mike Nash will get back going on the Fayers Aidan Hills run. Jeanette also looks like it may have been the stripe again. That green flag on the exit. I want to get another spin at Redgate where he spun earlier. So here's the leaders, all four leaders in shot, aren't they, with some back markers around them. So Norton, Crowhurst, Bessel and Parkin now, not far away from the pit window opening as well. Great battle this is up front between four very different cars. You've got with the Ginetta G20, that takes it back a long way really, doesn't it? You've got the 90 Civic, you've got the 2000s BMW and the 2010 Audi, great stuff.
Yeah, fantastic season, separated 24 seconds at the start of the lap. About 20 seconds ahead of Charles Kern and fifth, who got back ahead there for Emmanuel Ratz later as well.
So,
the Western Taylor and Lowe's also ahead of
with these four so close, it's important to look at their pit stops as we see the sort of Mashari car off the road here.
Yeah, that's part of it, isn't it? Between Melbourne and Melbourne, so looks like it's kind of a situation for starting the race.
So the only car at those four that doesn't have a pit stop penalty is Graham Crowhurst. Lawton's got 5 seconds. The Ginetta's got 10, the best of the Liberty car, and then Parkin's got 15. Some for success penalty, some for suspension gearbox. That does mean those pit stops are going to be absolutely critical, aren't they, to the race, whether the drivers and teams can get their pit stops as close to that minimum time as possible.
That's right.
Oh, the Genesis slow in.
It is. That's a shame. Is that terminal? Is he going to get back up to speed? Let's see. Still there now, isn't it? So, was that an intermittent issue? Or is that something that's a sign of something that's going to be a terrible issue for Bessel and Livesley?
I wonder if they make an early stop. Pit window will be open when they get to the pit lane, I think. Yeah. And that, if there is a small issue, just to check that out. That car has traditionally been a bit slower in the pit stop, so it's not the easiest to get in and out with very small cockpit. So we'll see how that goes, where the other three don't have to change drivers, do they? So they just go through the motions off the 60 seconds. Oh, it's yellows, isn't it? That's why Crowhurst couldn't go past that slower bit. Very good driving there, wasn't it? Under yellow flags, everyone realised what was going on and abide by the rules as drivers should do.
Absolutely. So we are now into the day of the being open. There's less than 30 minutes left on the clock, and there is a pit stop being undertaken by Stephen Cogswell in the Nissan Almera, having Daniel Cogswell. So that is just about as early as back out, so that was actually made before the 30-minute walk was over.
They had the car on the jack, so I wondered if they changed the tyre.
Yeah.
So perhaps that wasn't the mandatory stop.
Possibly it was a little bit earlier than it was, unfortunately. So there's our race leader, and he's even 6 seconds at the beginning of the lap.
What trajectory is
still there, but he's not walking out, isn't he? He's now 6 seconds behind the leader under the rest.
Just got a brief shot of the trophy GT86, good to see that out there. Just going through shot now, our Class D leader, Dan Sylvester, ahead of Scott Parkin and by a little way. So this is an excellent effort from Dan Sylvester, because Scott Parkin has been so rapid in this car. He's won 3 of the races we've had so far this season in Roadsports. He has a chance of winning the Club Enduro Championship tomorrow as well, as the Western Taylor Lotus is slowing now. So the car that was running in inside the top 6 earlier on is slowing. Johnny Western Taylor, I'm afraid. There's the parking I was just talking about. But Dan Sylvester was really delighted to have his Honda Civic up ahead of this car that had so much success this season.
It was great problems for the 13 car. That's why that was in.
And the James Birch car is making its stop now. This mighty Vauxhall Corsa, 1999 car with the Vauxhall C20 XE engine. Should really be racing tomorrow, that car, shouldn't it? James Birch, who has had success in previous seasons in this car, and going well as well on occasions this year. Always good to see that out there. An unlikely race car, but very rapid in the hands of James, and that car prepared by Track Obsession. Actually started out as a drag racing car, that machine, but nowadays it's circuit racing. Now here's Weston Taylor, who was slow at the start of that, but I think still is. So Johnny Weston Taylor, and Andy Heidi's Lotus Elite Series 2 Formula Ladies.
One driver that wasn't able to make the start was Will Hunt. He says he's absolutely good to have to withdraw from today's Roadsports race just before he climbed into the car and headed up to the assembly, having noticed a wet patch on it. It turned out it's to fix it in time. He vows to be back. Will Hunt, who back with us in Roadsports, but sadly not racing today. Off the road has gone the 101 car, which is Rob Fennick.
He's running in 25th position. Fairly high up Class C actually, about third behind Creed and Sam Dennis. Matt Creed now some 18 seconds I think ahead in that class, so that's almost going to equalise out his success penalty. There's that Toyota GT86 I mentioned, good to see that out there. Although it might now be in the gravel, run very wide, just about stayed out of the gravel for the Forrington. Looking down another type of car out that road most of the time. Just been passed by a Toyota Sleekman, a rare car to racing, being driven by Sarah Hobson, the 34-year-old from Cheshire.
Yeah, and I guess the GT86 is really the successor to the Sully. Yes, there's the 7 car Martin Gadsby.
Both men followed up from the 1-2s in the sports car from Toyota.
Here's Daniel Sylvester, who in the 37 place over continues to lead Class B. Someone has been off the gravel. Daniel Sylvester is leading Class B, and there's quite a lot of time between himself and Scott Parkin.
Trim come off that car that went through the gravel. There's that Nissan Almera. There he again, another unusual car that we've got on the grid with great looking car in the Nissan Super Touring livery that got my yellow on the 1999 British Touring Car Championship in that livery, not that car, and that car back out on track after those brake issues that reported recently from their early pit stop. Meanwhile, Josh Lawson leads by 1.8 seconds in the number 10 on the Civic over 15 Graham Crowhurst, and as we'll get back to the Superman Park with their protection. There's Sam Dennis, who is second within Class C. We saw him out in the Time Park Trophy earlier. So again, maybe someone just trying out a different format of racing, longer distance, with a big variety of cars, multi-cars racing, very different to the Time Park Trophy that Sam Dennis was racing in much more than an hour ago.
Class D, that's still been led by the number 31 6 Mark over Mares and his compact. Second in that class is the big Jag, the Jaguar XJ6 and Charles Jackson is making his Roadsports debut. They've been 7th in Roadsports as well this weekend. Classic Touring Car Racing. They're going from bad to worse for 154 Matthew Fairs. This is off-road possibly this time for good as the two leaders are together. Coming up to lap for Josh Johnson, the Golf GTI Mark 5, and a bit out of shape there is the number 10 car, the race leader, which is Josh Lawton, of course. Can Graham Crowhurst capitalise this on the run up to McLean's corner? He goes through on the inside to take the lead of the race there, and look how close Ryan Parkin is in third place as well.
Excellent racing this is. Then the BMW M3 goes through on Graham Crowhurst. The supercharged Honda drops a second, but it's got a tighter line as they come out of Coppy's corner. Which of these cars has more power? Well, it's pretty similar. You've got the Diesel Audi just behind there in the hands of Ryan Parkin. Down they come into the S's then. As we said, they have all got differing pit stop lengths to come, so that may split them up, but it's been a great first part of the race. That's why no one is pitting. They're enjoying this battle so much as they head up to the halfway distance, down into the Melbourne Loop. Crowhurst is a little wide, you see, no, he's okay, I think, and he's grabbed the lead there, making use of that traffic where Lawton was a bit offline, a bit sideways, and that allowed Graham Crowhurst to challenge Ryan Parkin just behind, right in it. Are any of them going to pit at this stage halfway through the race? Yes.
They are, and it's Crowhurst who's just got the lead, promptly goes into the pits.
So won't be credited as the leader just yet.
No, he won't. Andy McEwen is down in the pit lane. Let's see who he's talked to.
The pit window well and truly open, driver changes taking place, and Paul Browse has just jumped out of the 222 BMW. Paul, looked like a lively opening stint for you there, talk us through it.
Went down the outside of turn 1, went to use the brakes and up and out, so decided to floor and go through the gravel. It took a while to get the places all back, but we got it back before the break, so we'll make it. We should go forward.
And the car felt okay after that, no damage done?
No, no damage, just a lot of gravel and a bit of bumpy ride. I mean, it's an old car, the old brakes.
Looks like a fantastic car to drive though, and on this new grippy Donington Park circuit you can really stretch its legs.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't got good tyres on, but it felt quite grippy, and I mean, we were going around the outside of some there, and it felt really good, so it'll be good for tomorrow with some good tyres on.
You had a very quick chat there with Lucas, you sent him out. Any words of wisdom for him?
Yeah, watch the brakes. We've got no ABS and it's locking up in most corners, so you just got to go easy. You know, just taking time braking.
Good advice, Paul. Thank you very much for having a chat with us. So Paul Browse out, Luke Browse in. There have been a few cars diving into the garages in the last few minutes with problems, so I'm going to head up there and investigate, and I'll be back in a few minutes.
Thank you very much indeed, Andy, which is over halfway through this race now, 21 minutes to go. 10, Josh Lawton leads the race. Number 6, Ryan Parkin in second place, 15. Show us third on the screen at the moment. We'll start to pits. Back to the back. Devon Park is 4th. Will was up last place. 5th. 6th. Sylvester is in 7th place, but is just a third of a second between Lawton and Parkin as they've gone across the line to complete the lap.
Yeah, so that battle up front continues. I presume they've gone across the line and not to the pit lane. We've not seen it from our vantage point. But there's it's only, yeah, they're both still out there, aren't they? So they're leaving it till late in the window to stop. Josh Lawson and Ryan Parkin. Josh Lawson, I think, on the podium at Snetterton. Yeah, he was second at Snetterton, in fact, behind Brad Burns and Rob Baker. He's spotted there, Ian.
Crowhurst back down into the race as well. There we see
lightweight are involved.
I don't think so. I think that's just instead. I'm not going to commit to it apart because it's my main issue.
Okay, here are our leaders. That flashing light bar on Josh Lawson's Honda. Ryan Parkin just behind. So Lawson, the 26-year-old from East Yorkshire, leads Ryan Parkin from South Yorkshire. So we've got a battle of the Yorkshire drivers up front then, heading towards the end of 15 laps of racing. As more pit stops happen down there in the lane. That is the 777 car of Robert Andrade, who was in 4th position, I think, when he stopped, so was going pretty well. And that's the Matty Taylor run Seat, the MT Development Motorsport Engineering team for Robert, the 49-year-old from Wolverhampton.
Mares again, I think he's still leading in Class D, is it?
Yes. I think we may have lost the Janetto, I think the battle delivery cars come back out since then problems, so that's absolutely the investigating as we speak.
Yeah, see the pit lane very busy indeed. Cars diving into it all come. There's the big Jag.
Charles Jackson, the 32-year-old from Worcestershire, this 1996 Jaguar XJ, just behind Ivan Mayer, who we're currently looking at. And Charles Jackson is new to racing, and he's built this car up, which he inherited from his late father, and he's racing it in his memory. And it's prepared by Auto Reserve Jaguar. You can see there on the side of the car. It's great to have this very different type of car. I've said that many times in this race, but there may be quite a few of these types of Jaguars out racing, but not normally with other things. So it's great to have Charles Jackson, the 32-year-old lettings agent, out with us for the first time.
He was third reserve when he got here, so delighted to actually get into the race as well. Around Donington Park this weekend. I think going after the class with potentially capture pass 5 minutes in the closing stages of the race. 17 and 3/4 minutes left to go.
Yeah, I think Jackson has pitted, I think Ivan Mayer's had. Obviously, Mayer has that longer stop, but his success winning accidentally in Brands Hatch.
So there's Mayer's coming down towards us, followed by Jackson. 14 still quite down there, but we've only got 2 minutes or so before the pit lane window closes.
I think the next lap, I would imagine.
There's the chauffeur car coming through. The multicoloured BMW 6M3 driving from distance, getting more push around the circuit this morning. And there's the BMW, the Audi that we saw a little bit strong earlier on. That's the car which was should be William Beach taking off. You can see William Beach getting into the car.
Yeah, that's a Motorsport run Audi, I think new built this year for John Maudsley, who raced it in the previous round. Beach, I think, is behind the category, behind the team, I should say. Capture Motorsport, you can see on the bonnet they're now getting aboard, seeing how it goes. It did come into the pits in 8th position, so one of the late stoppers, meaning that it got well up the overall position. Now these are the top 2, surely in there for the pits this time.
Well, if they don't this time, they'll be too late, won't they? Because there'll be less than 15 minutes to go as they come through. So it's Josh Lawton who is leading, the 27-year-old fabricator from Hull, just ahead of Ryan Parkin. Yet they do both dive into the pit lane right at the same time.
Graham Crowhurst was 1 minute and 27 seconds behind them as he started the lap. They have to go down the speed at the pit speed limit, and then they have to be stopped for Josh Lawton for 65 seconds and Ryan Parkin for 75 seconds. Lawton for 5 seconds after he finished second at Snetterton, and Ryan Parkin for winning last time out at Brands Hatch.
Just one car separating them in the pit lane as well.
Which is twin brother Scott Parkin.
Yeah, absolutely. Both the Parkin brothers, the Darkside Developments guys in at the same moment. Drink of water there for number 6 Ryan Parkin during the course of the 75-second pit stop.
We have our first track limit penalty of the event, which I'm sure will please some people. Car number 72, Leon Peggenville Beach, have a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits, but it's taken to race 4 and a long race to get there.
Absolutely right. So, to all concerned. As there we can see the Luke Browse car. That is the one that we heard from Paul a few moments ago on the pit lane. There's that actually in 16th position, which is the first one left up actually. Usually on the time speed mode, so it's just a big 1:47. Best lap race that was Josh Morton. 1:40, and what is James Alford doing? He's well off the circuit, I'm afraid, but Hollywood, that is.
Redgate.
Redgate 400.
Straight on, a long way in. Now he's trying to get back out, with hopefully not getting beached in the gravel. And now where's he off to?
Yeah, I'm trying to work out where he is going there. He's going across the direction. Maybe he's trying to get to the sort of place he could pull in and retire from the race. That's the 72 car, which just got a 5-second penalty, so fronted was the race.
Okay, so as Crowhurst got ahead of Lawton and Parkin in the stops, there is Parkin had the longest penalty. There's Crowhurst, so there's Crowhurst in the BMW. And there's Lawton, more than 5 seconds behind, I would suggest.
Yes, definitely.
So that, and then Parkin, who should have had a 10-second longer stop, probably within 10 seconds to Lawton. So it's Josh Lawton who's lost out. There's another front runner in strife, which is Giles Kirk, who would run anything in the top 6 in the early stages in his Seat. A bit further down the order now, and will be plummeting at this stage with further issues. But Graham Crowhurst, who he lost out, didn't he, at Silverstone on his one-off Roadsports appearance last season, is now potentially, with 13 minutes to go, on his way to a victory at Donington.
Yeah, so he pit stops have worked out well for the wave to Jake there, who was lapping. Just because he's BMW driver, thanks for making it easy for him to get through to the end of that. But George Jackson changing out, and also being number 71 penalty race report, please.
Yeah, Lloyd Chafee, you just mentioned, who went the lap down in the 32-year-old service manager from Norfolk. He's been racing for 10 seasons now with his 3.2 litre 1997 BMW M3. There he is. Oh, the Audi TT's not that going. Will be. So that's the second time the car has slowed, and this time even stopped. Got going, but not into the pit. So Leach has potentially figured out the issues.
The 211 car, Giles Kirk, that's been the gearbox problems. The larger which might explain its demise. And also the other car, one of the cars that's dropped, the Johnny Boston Taylor, having high levels of this, that was overheating. That's taking the gas over, which caused the cars and grass has caused that car to start overheating.
In Class C, Matt Creed has retained his lead despite the longer pit stop. Sam Dennis is second, with Sarah Hobson up to third from the pit lane start. So that's a good job from her in the Toyota Celica, and is about 10 seconds behind Sam Dennis. So we'll see if that gap comes down. But there's our Class B leader. That's Dan Sylvester, who's in 6th overall in that Honda Civic. And again, one of the older cars on the grid for that one. And he leads the class by about 9 seconds, I think, over Scott Parkin, with Johnny Monday in 3rd.
That's the ex-Miss McCoy on the Civic. He's using his good effect when he races in the season, including I think it was just a week ago.
I mentioned Class D in that little rundown. Ivor Mares has held on. He is about 10 seconds ahead of Charles Jackson with the Cleesby Toyota in 3rd.
The gap for the lead was 11 seconds at the start of the previous lap. We've got Josh Lawson just across the line now, complete lap number 19. The gap was 11 seconds. It's come down to 10. 10.9 seconds, but he will need to close the fastest lap with Josh. The Honda Civic to win this race. There's only 6 seconds or so between Norton and Parker.
Looking there at Johnny Monday, that Civic, he's 3rd in Class B, sometimes C1 racer. Johnny Monday, that Type R, going pretty well. There's Sylvester losing 2 positions. Firstly to the Volkswagen Golf, that's having a good run. Jack and George Wright. Jack Wright on the wheel at the moment, and Robert Andrade as well. They're both Class A cars, but they have just passed Dan Sylvester, who they were behind at the start of the lap. But yeah, this is the best we've seen from the Golf, isn't it? The Wright brothers, they've raced in Track Day Trophy in the past, but seemingly no movement being this high up in their first season in Roadsports, so that's good to see.
So the right ones have been taking off this season. We've got the 7 car right behind them though, so that's very close. They move to lap number 11, which I think will now be Robert Tilley in the Mazda MX-5. And the 72 cars back into the race as well, and notice the 34 Lotus Martin Gambling. We mentioned him really during the course of this race so far. We've got compact racer, low cost racer, sports specialist racer, lots of racing in different categories with the 750 Motorsport down the years.
14 he's running, I think 5th in Class B, and a new car I think to him this, so that's good to see. He is ahead of car, I think he's just lapped 32 Mike Rayner, he's in 23rd spot with 9 minutes of the race to go.
Ginetta, the Vessel and Little car, also what the issue was there. That's also gearbox issues, I'm afraid.
Tomorrow, they due to be out of Club Enduro, so that would explain why the car slowed, not being able to go up a gear at that point, and that problem was bad enough. The car has been parked. Graham Crowhurst there is about to lap the car in 9th position, so he's about to lap Scott Parkin. And he leads still by 10 seconds. He just did a personal best last time, Crowhurst, 1 minute 40.46, but potential issues for someone else.
Yeah, the black flag is being put out for somebody. So there is possible speed against.
Sylvester's lead over Parkin in Class B came down to 6 seconds. It was 3 seconds slower on that last lap. We saw him lose those 2 positions in the race. And this car that's not used to doing this length of race, I wonder how that's going from Sylvester. We'll have to pick up on that in a few moments' time. But there he is. Now that was 6 seconds at the start of the lap to Scott Parkin. And as they come up across the line, the gap is now 3.5 seconds. That's again a big gain for Scott Parkin, and he has set the fastest lap in Class B as well now, 1 minute 44.8, and the potential battle then in the final stages for a class win there.
That's right, so we'll keep an eye on that in 7 minutes of the race. It's just been lapped by good as well. By the race leader. There is the 89 car, which is a little bit on the sideways side of things, which is Scott Parkin, who is the one chasing after him.
Yeah, he had 2 wheels on the grass going into the old hairpin, and that put him sideways. Not ideal when you're trying to chase down a class leader.
I think he has lost time as a result of that, hasn't he? The gap looks to have gone out from where it was at the start of that, going past by Nash. Also just behind as well as Sam Bedford, also been at Goddard's in the earlier stages of the race. 6 minutes or so to go now. A handful more laps for Scott Parkin to try and close in 4.5 seconds on Daniel Sylvester.
Something's happened to Matt Creed. Sam Dennis now leads Class C by the looks of things, and Matt Creed had a very slow lap possibly into the pit lane, I wonder.
2:31, so yeah, sort of a few seconds off his normal times. There's the front car, that's in the thing for a penalty to serve.
So Sam Dennis leads Class C. Sarah Hobson's now been reclassified as Class B car, so if Creed is out of it, the Fenwick and Shepherd car will now be second in class, and the Tilley Mazda will be third.
Oh, and problems for Sylvester. He's slowed coming out of Goddard, and that means that there's a change of lead within the class. Seems to back up to speed now, but it's Scott Parkin, number 89, that has just gone through to take the lead of Class B.
So I wonder what may have caused that problem. And Johnny Monday, who was third in Class B, is into the pit, so this is all going a bit wrong for multiple drivers in successful positions.
And that could promote the Corsa.
Is that the black flag? Is that going to the penalty box?
Looks like it is, isn't it? Yeah, the penalty box at the end of the pit lane for Monday. That may well be a speeding issue. Served there.
That might promote James Birch in the boxing floor, but he's next up in Class B. There's Graham Crowhurst, we've seen much of him since the stop. He's leading the race. He's back up to go in 6th position now. just showing how quick those top 3 cars have been in this race. Absolutely phenomenal pace. We mentioned earlier 7 seconds underneath the lap record, which is mightily impressive. Well, probably better than the top dozen cars underneath the lap record. Such it's the change of pace, but in particular those top 3 cars much quicker than anybody else.
Yeah, Josh Dawson still got the best lap times at 1:40.40, Roadsports 40.46, Parkin at 40.47, so they're all very evenly matched. But that's about 4 seconds a lap faster than the car in 6th place. When you multiply that by the 21 laps you've had, you see why we now have that far up the order being lapped.
There's Birch in that Corsa. There's Ivan Mares leading Class D by 13 seconds over Charles Jackson. And despite the issue early on, I think with an early pit stop, the Cogswell Nissan is up to 3rd in Class D.
Did it serve all the pit stops it was supposed to? I'm not sure it did or not.
See if anything comes of it, but progress has been made. There's Sam Dennis just ahead of Ivan Mares, he leads Class C. So this is a really good effort from Sam. Matt Creedy's back up to speed. He's 20 seconds behind though, so he is still in 2nd in Class C. So the Fenwick and Shepherd Ginetta 3rd. But I don't think Matt Creed will be able to catch that gap in the small amount of time left. So Sam Dennis looking good for a class win here. There's the Jack Wright Volkswagen. So this is the battle for 6th position, isn't it? He's involved in that battle with Wolverhampton and Robert Andrade. And they've got Josh Lawson not that far behind them and in 2nd place to lap them.
So between the Focus TSs, there's that fight for 6th position. Leon there, which is to lap the Almera. Background, you can see the 10. So you look to lap on these cars as well. First is just about completed. There he is, just outside the public box window. He's just completed his 24th lap. He's going to get 2 more laps out of this. About 10 seconds roughly clear of Josh Lawson, who just got across the line in 2nd. So that's down to 8.73 seconds. First and 2nd, still in 3rd place. He's a similar gap back. Lawson's to Crowhurst.
This Wright and Onrod battle behind Martin Gatsby, who's had a good run in the BMW Compact M3 engine car, 5th position overall, driving solo today. So Martin will be pleased if he can hang on. There he is, I think, just about to be lapped by Graham Crowhurst. But there's only going to be 4 cars on the lead lap, which is pretty rare.
It is, it's unusual. It's more to emphasise that 7 of these cars are also in the same class. As well, so while it's been quite matched at the front, also there's got a bit of a differential on the top of the 4 or 5 fastest cars, people connected that have those gearbox issues, and the rest.
Yeah, that's right. Sylvester is carrying on, but slowly. James Birch is 3rd in Class B, but 30 seconds behind, so Sylvester can still finish 2nd in Class B if he can bring the car home. He's about 10 seconds off the pace at the moment. That might be enough to hang on to 2nd. Birch will say 3rd and out after the penalty Monday, about 3 seconds behind Birch, who we see now.
There's Birch on 3 wheels down through the Craner curves, really pushing on in the track obsession Corsa, which will be right at home tomorrow, where Donington Park is celebrating Fox Miles, celebration of the Vauxhall Mark. Over the line there goes the 777 car, still battling for that 6th position there, which behind is the 21 car, which is the Josh Johnson Gold, which is a lot further back in 14th position. There's the little Corsa again.
Yeah, looks like might be being caught by Johnny Monday though for 3rd in class. Leaders have started their final lap, haven't they? See Sam Dennis, our Class C leader. We're looking, I think, for our race leader though on this final lap of the Roadsports race. There he is, Graham Crowhurst, about I think the 2nd lap of Sarah Hobson, 3rd lap possibly actually, on the car in 20th position. But Graham Crowhurst looking good then for victory in the TDI Roadsports Series here at Donington Park, which would be a really good start of what could be a very successful weekend for Graham Crowhurst, twice a class champion in the BMW Car Club, and he turns left and right through the S's, about to lap the Class D leader. There's 2 corners to go, the 2 hairpins to go in.
That's right, and Graham Crowhurst then, I think he was keen to get a win under his belt in the TDI Roadsports Series during the course of the season, and it looks like he's going to do it. 1 more corner to go now for Graham Crowhurst. Tomorrow he'll be trying to wrap up the BMW Car Club Racing Championship title, although that's not going to be easy for him, but he comes out of the final corner now. Checkered flag is out, and it is waved to a very delighted indeed. Graham Crowhurst, he bangs the roof of the car in celebration. He takes the win. Ivan Mayers has gone through as the Class D winner, and we just saw Josh Lawton about to go into shot to take 2nd place in the Honda, having led for a little while. Ryan Parkin it is that takes 3rd. Matt comes through. He's flashing his lights. Where did he?
2nd.
Yeah, 2nd within Class C. And then the question was, who's going to be 3rd in Class C? There's our Class B winner, and that is Scott Parkin, 8th place overall. 8th, the Class B winner, number 89, Rob Parkin.
Ryan Parkin is, hi, I'm Scott Parkin even. Scott, yeah. I do that every time, Scott, I'm so sorry. Congratulations, class victory for you though. Happy with how that went?
Yeah, definitely. A little bit of a shame to get it right near the end. Danny was well in the lead, deservedly as well, and he was suspicious that he might get fuel surge towards the end, and I think that's what he got. So he seemed to slow down, get back going. Looks like he finished, but I'm not sure what position he managed to finish in. So shame to get it like that. I think he had the measure of me today, pace-wise. But yeah, I'll take the victory if he's not going to take it. So hopefully he's with us on the podium.
Well, exactly, and you've been on the other side of that so many times in the past as well, haven't you? But the car seemed to run pretty well in that one. Any issues at all?
No, we seem to be destroying the front left tyre immediately. As soon as I went out, it was squealing for that. So we'll try and make some setup changes ready for tomorrow, because obviously this full race is less than 1 stint in the Club Enduro, so I need to make sure that I can keep it together for the full 2 hours, which is the most important one. So this has just been like a extended test really for us.
And is that things like front camber settings then, for example? Because I know on this new surface it's grippy, but it does seem to be pretty aggressive on the tyres. You've got to be a bit careful dialing that up, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why we need to sort of recalibrate what we're believing is the right setup for this. So we've got some data now. We know 45 minutes of running, so hopefully the guys can make some tweaks, and fingers crossed that'll help us improve for tomorrow.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, Scott Parkin.